How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, guys? Root of the Null here, jumping back on board with you for a whole nother batch tutorial. And let's get started. I'm gonna get the Windows command line ready to go, and let's get Notepad++ open while we're at it, because we are gonna be creating a script in this video. And in the last couple of videos, we've been taking a look at if statements, conditional statements, and that sort of thing. And we were looking at comparison operators, getting the syntax under our belt, and now I want to introduce a new theme to you guys, a new concept, and this is the idea of nesting. And nesting is the idea of putting multiple code blocks inside one another. Now, normally you could do this with a whole lot of things. You can do it with conditional statements, you can do it with loops, or any other sort of like logical formation that you're doing. But since we've been looking at if statements, I want to introduce this theme and this idea to you guys with this sort of structure. So let's create a script and let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna call mine script.bat. Remember, it always has to have that bat extension. Add echo off. At, not hashtag. Holy crap. Okay. We'll go to our main function. Go to, not got. Dude, that should be on a t-shirt. Got main? Got milk? No, got main, man. Alright. And now in our main function, I want to be able to set some variables. I want to create the same sort of example that we've been working with earlier. I'll set A, food can equal 50. Set A, needed food can equal 50. And now I want to make this a little bit more complex. I want to give us a little bit more something else to look at. So another factor in our little problem here that we're trying to sort out with our conditional statement. So let's set a number of people. Let's say we'll have 10 people, and these people eat a certain amount of the food. They have rations. Now each person can have 5 amount of food. How about that? Okay. Now we want to be able to express that in our thoughts and in our ideas, so we're gonna do a little bit of multiplication here. Set A, all food can equal the value of people times rations, because each person is going to be eating these amount of rations. Does that make any sense? Okay. But anyway, let's get into our if statement. We can do if. Remember, we don't want any parentheses here. That's my own fault. Sorry. Now we'll use our two parentheses if food is greater than... Actually, no. Yeah, greater than is what we want. I wanted to be able to show you guys the example that we've been using recently, if food is equal to needed food. Then, let me show you this. We can echo, we have enough food. Actually, I want to change this to we have a good amount of food. Now we'll throw in our else statement. And now we can echo out, we do not have enough food. Now if we check this out in our script, if we run script, we have a good amount of food, but we've been using the example if food and if needed food are equal. So if we change needed food to be 55, it says we do not have enough food. Okay, what if we changed food to 55? But what if we had more food than we actually needed? It'll tell us we do not have enough food, and this is a problem in our own logic. We want to be using greater than or equal to, because we want to have more food than what we need. So in this case, it'll run. We have a good amount of food because 55 is greater than what we need. And if it's still 50, we still have a decent amount. So now we can keep testing though. Let's switch back to our Notepad++ text editor here. And when we have a decent amount of food, we want to be able to test for more information. We want to be able to examine our little problem here a little bit more in depth, because we have the right amount of food so far, but we need to see if we have a good amount of food for the people. So we can test if all food, which is the amount that we would normally be consuming, is less than or equal to, because if we have a good amount of food, we can still feed them. The food that we have, if all food is less than, we have enough, we can echo out, we have enough food for all, and I'll throw in the value of people here, people. And then we can do an else statement. We do not have enough food for all these people. Switch back over and run this. We have a good amount of food, and we have enough food for all 10 people, because 10 times 5 is 50, and we have all that. But what if we changed food to 40? So we do not have enough food to begin with, because if we're looking at our if conditional statement, if food is greater than or equal to needed food, in our case 40 is less than 50, it's just going to skip all this code entirely. So let's bring needed food a little bit down more. Let's bring needed food down to 30. Now if we run this, it says we have a good amount of food, but we do not have enough food for all these people. So let's check out our logic again. If food is greater than or equal to food, which it is, we'll run this, and now we'll run a whole nother if statement. And if all food is less than food, which it is not, we jump back down to our else statement, which says we do not have enough food for all these people. So it's sort of like a sub-layer of thought, because see, you've got this if statement up top, and then we have a whole nother one inside of that. So you can do like a sort of step-by-step analysis of what you're working on. Your code will become more wide, like display-wise, you'll actually be stretching out your logic if you want to think of it that way. And there's a whole lot more to think about, but you can do more in-depth, like, examinations with your data and information. So there's a whole lot you can do with this, especially when you combine it with loops and that sort of thing. But hey, it's something else to look at and something more to learn in Batch. Thank you guys for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can understand this topic and why we're going to be using it later on. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.